Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Kayfabe Central podcast. I am your host, Josh, as always. I am back with another pay per view post show review or PLE post show review. You guys know by now, I've just been calling it pay per views because that's what I am accustomed to calling it. So I will continue calling it pay per views. But we are here with another post show review where we go over everything that happened in the pay per view. In this case, it is SummerSlam Night 1. So we will be going over everything that happened on Night 1 of SummerSlam, all the winners, all the noteworthy moments, and all things like that. Before we get into that, though, make sure you guys subscribe if you're on YouTube, like, comment, hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the videos, podcasts, and interviews that come to the channel. If you want to help out on the monetary side of things, make sure you subscribe to the Ko-Fi page. It's $5 minimum to subscribe to the exclusive wrestling content tier. Make sure you go ahead and join up on the Discord server. We have a couple people in there looking to get some more. So if you're interested in just coming in and talking wrestling, then go ahead and feel free to join up the Discord server. Um, Make sure you check out the Kayfabe Central website, all that good stuff. That I'll still probably plug at the end of this podcast, like I always do. Um, but yeah, let's get straight into night one of SummerSlam. This was a 6 match card, and so will night two. 12 matches in total. Um, so yeah, we kicked the I guess we should talk about the nothing pre-show. So it was a 3 hour kickoff show, started at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Um, and again, nothing happened on this pre-show. And I am so tired of, and I've made this clear many a times, I am so tired of these useless pre-shows where it's just recap after recap and talking about the matches, and there's no matches on the pre-show. Um, it's just ridiculous, and like also the amount of like I'll probably get into it later, but the amount of commercial breaks and advertisements and useless things we had in between matches during the actual show was just ridiculous. Like we should not have to wait 30 minutes for the next match. Um, but yeah, so nothing happened on the kickoff show. They just interviewed a couple of wrestlers, talked about the matches, and yeah, same old. We kicked the night off with uh Roman Reigns and Jey Uso defeating Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. This was a solid match. It was what I thought it was going to be. It was just, Braun Breaker being insane. It did look like there was a spot where Braun Breaker got injured. I don't know the severity of the injury or if he's like spoiler alert, he shows up later on in the show and he had his like leg taped or his knee taped or something like that. I don't know if it's an ankle issue, knee issue. Um, I doubt it's something like a pinky toe injury or something like that. Um, it could be anything, but I know in the post show conference he didn't have it taped up, so that could be a good sign. But I think he got hurt off of um the thing where he jumps off of the table, not table, the apron onto the table onto his opponent. I believe he landed on his knee kind of awkwardly there, but he seems to be okay. Um, we can all hope. But yeah, so Roman Reigns and Jey Uso defeat the Braun Brawns in a pretty solid match, and yeah, I assume that Roman Reigns is going to take some more time off per usual, and he's probably going to come back around maybe the end of the month where Clash in Paris hits, depending on what that card is and if he needs to come back. If not, then it'll probably be closer to the Survivor Series, most likely. Um, yeah, I'm very intrigued as to where this story goes. It's obviously going to continue. I don't know if it's going to continue to revolve around Jey Uso. It might, just to keep him around and keep him doing things. Because obviously he's not the world heavyweight champion anymore, so they need to find something for him to do. Um, so yeah, Roman and Jey win this match, and I expected this match to kick off, and then when they announced it was gonna kick off, I was like, okay, yeah, Roman Reigns only either opens the show or closes the show. and he opened the show in this case. So yeah, that was the opening tag match. Nothing else to say about that one. I don't have any extra notes about that. We followed that up with another tag match. This one being for the women's tag team championships. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair defeated the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Again, a solid match. I will say, like in total of this card, there wasn't a bad match, but again, it was the waiting period between these matches. Like I believe the first match didn't start until like 6:20 something, and then this match here, it was like 20 25 minutes, maybe even 30 between when this match started, which was the second match of the night. And I'm like, oh my goodness, come on. Um, like by the time we got to the second match, I was like, wow, we just waited all that time and now we're finally here. So for a bit of it, I was just like, okay, whatever. But Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair win the match here, and I like this. I like this idea a lot. I was very torn with this match, in terms of who would win, because I was saying that Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair winning would be cool and would make sense in a way, but I was also saying that WWE likes the Judgment Day having all the gold. I'm happy for multiple reasons because I think that Judgment Day holding all the gold is kind of just done with now. I think that's kind of just worn out. I think that's run its course by now. I don't think they need to be holding all the gold anymore. So I like Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair winning this. I like the story that they're telling with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair as well because um, it was a bit awkward towards the end of this match, but again, that's how it's supposed to be because they're not supposed to have good chemistry yet. They're a new tag team. Like at Evolution, that was their first chance at the tag team championships, and they came up short. They didn't lose directly, but they didn't get the win either. And here they get the win. And while it was, not perfect, and it was also awkward the way Charlotte grabbed Alexa's hair to pull her for the hug. But again, it all makes sense because they're not supposed to have great chemistry yet. And we even had a spot where Alexa Bliss laid in a forearm by accident to Charlotte Flair. Um, and then, yeah, they eventually ended up picking up the win with Charlotte saving Alexa Bliss, looking like she was going to hit Alexa. Yeah, solid match from these two teams, and yeah, I enjoyed it. This was definitely enjoyable. Yeah, nothing else left to say about that match either. Happy for Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I'm curious as to where they go because they can go a variety of directions now that the Judgment Day is not holding it. They could go back to the Kabuki Warriors. They could um who else is there? There's the Green Regime, regime, whatever it is. Words are not my friend. I woke up like an hour ago. Um, like Natalia and Maxine Dupree are not a team that's gonna win the tag titles, but they can like lose an opportunity, at least like one match or something like that. Or they can pair somebody else up. Maybe they pair someone like a Lash Legend and Nia Jax up. Like they feud and then all of a sudden they're friends and they're teaming up and they win the tag titles. The powerhouse tag team. That can happen as well. Um, but I'll just enjoy Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair as tag champs right now instead of just jumping to conclusions on who's going to beat them. So I'm going to enjoy this run and see where it takes us. Next we had Sami Zayn defeating Karrion Kross. So again, solid match. They put on a decent going match, and I won't lie, I was looking because if you guys all remember, there was the rumors that Karrion Kross doesn't like taking bumps, and I was looking very carefully for how many bumps Karrion Kross took in this match. And he took quite a bit. He did take some bumps in here. It's SummerSlam. You have to. I did notice he did not get up as much on the exploder suplex into the corner. And I was like, hmm, hmm, maybe. maybe that was on him. Maybe he just really didn't want to take that bump and he was dreading it. And by the time Sami was going up for the move, it was too late and it just looked like he'd landed a little awkwardly. He's obviously fine. But as for the stipulation, Karrion Kross has to um, tell Sami that he was wrong. Obviously, they're probably going to do that on like Monday Night Raw or something because nothing happened here. And in terms of Karrion Kross, I haven't heard anything about his contract being renewed. I'm getting some like notifications right now from like reports and stuff like from Fightful and all that stuff, but I can't read it at the moment. So I don't know. Maybe in one of those reports it'll be Karrion Kross resigned. I don't think he's going to resign. I think that he's going to end up leaving. Um, Obviously this is just me predicting right out of my ass because I'm not backstage. I don't talk to like other people who are backstage. So I'm just predicting right out of my ass that Karrion Kross will end up leaving. He could end up resigning though. It is very possible. But I was saying that if Sami Zayn wins this, this is probably going to be the last PLE we see Karrion Kross on because his contract is up sometime this month. But yeah, Sami Zayn defeats Karrion Kross. We follow that up with a bunch more commercials, but then the match for the WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton defeating Jade Cargill. Solid enough match. Um, I picked Jade Cargill to win this one because I thought that's the route that would go. I I don't hate Tiffany winning this match. I don't, just because I don't feel Jade Cargill is ready for that yet. I don't think she's ready for that world title yet. And I think it was Rue and I believe Stu said it too. I apologize for my dog barking. That Jade Cargill, she's not extremely green, but she's a little bit green still. And a lot of the times when she has a good match, it's her partner carrying her. So she still has a lot of learning to do. She still has a lot of work to put in, and I think keeping that title on Tiffany Stratton is a good idea. Now, I don't. In terms of Tiffany Stratton's reign, I'm getting kind of bored. I am getting kind of bored because who else is there to face? I was thinking that they'd do a swap with her and Naomi, send Tiffany to Raw, um, or even like if Tiffany lost the title, they could send Tiffany to Raw and keep Jade on SmackDown, or swap Naomi and Tiffany. But that doesn't seem like that's what they're gonna do. As Naomi as triple threat match and probably going to something with Stephanie Vaquer if she retains tonight. Um, so yeah, I don't know where they go with Tiffany Stratton from here. I'm not even sure if they know where they go with Tiffany Stratton from here, if they've even decided that. If they have it up on that like whiteboard that they have in the conference room of what Tiffany's doing next. Um, Maybe she runs it back with Jade. I don't particularly want to see that again until like maybe sometime down the line. Maybe Bianca Belair comes back. They run that. That's probably the best option for them to do right now. There's just nobody else credible enough to go after Tiffany Stratton and seem like a real threat to take that title off of her. Um, but yeah, Tiffany Stratton retains, and it's a good move, but it's also a move in where do you go next? And what do we do from here now? Because now this is getting a little bit stale. And if WWE doesn't realize this is getting stale, then that's an even bigger problem. Um, because it is. Tiffany hasn't really had any good defenses, to be honest. She feuded with Nia Jax. She obviously beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. After that, it was just Nia Jax consistently. Then it was Trish Stratus. We all knew Trish wasn't winning it. Then it was Jade here at SummerSlam. Most of us thought Jade was winning it, and she didn't. Tiffany retained again. So it's all a matter of how long is Tiffany going to hold this title? Is she going to hold it until WrestleMania? Is she going to drop it at Clash in Paris to somebody? like a Bianca Belair, and then we get to Jade and Bianca at WrestleMania, and that's how Jade wins the title. Um, Either way, solid match from these two. Wasn't a bad match at all. Um, yeah, Tiffany Stratton is great. Jade Cargill is definitely getting better. I will give her that. But she still has a lot to learn there. We followed that up with another tag match: Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul defeating Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. I won't lie to you, Jelly Roll made an impression on me on night one because he did a lot more than I thought he was going to do. First off, I did not expect him to start the match because usually with these celebrity kind of matches, they do the whole thing where the wrestler starts off and they do their thing, whatever, they end up taking some damage, taking the heat. Then they make the hot tag to the celebrity. They do their 5 moves that they were taught to do. Um, then they get beat up a little bit, and then the wrestler comes back in and helps them out. And then the celebrity does like one big move that shocks the crowd and the commentators, and they pick up the win. Not what happened here. Jelly Roll got beat up at one point. It looked like he was going to leave, but then he came back on the apron. Um, but then ended up eating the pin, which is the best possible outcome for this match. And I think WWE should do that a lot more often of these celebrities eating the pin. Randy Orton didn't need to take the pin here. And I think Logan and Drew winning was the right option, especially with Drew losing at Saturday night's main event. I figured that's the route that they were probably going to take. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, Jelly Roll taking the pin, great move. Um, I believe he did get hurt. I can't remember what he injured. Um, but that's okay. It doesn't really affect the SmackDown Raw roster or anything like that. He did say he wants to come back eventually, though. He did say that before he came into this match with that interview with Stephanie McMahon. I saw the clip of him saying that this is not going to be his last stint in WWE, so he wants to do more. That's whatever. I will say he did impress me with some of the things he did pull off. So kudos to Jelly Roll. Uh, Next we had the main event of night one, which was the World Heavyweight Championship match. CM Punk defeating Gunther to win the title. This was a good match. Yeah, honestly, a good match. They did this perfectly, to be honest, where Gunther, he's the younger competitor. CM Punk a little bit older now, a little bit past his prime, and so he got beat up a little bit. Not a little bit. He got the hell beat out of him. A lot of chops, a lot of boots, a lot of lariats. Your typical Gunther beat down. CM Punk, fires back consistently. There was one point Gunther got bloodied. I don't think anybody has really made Gunther bleed like that, so that was the story. There, CM Punk capitalizes. He gets the attack on Gunther, fights back. He kicks out of a couple power bombs, whatever. Gunther tries to get the choke on him. Punk slips out. Punk eventually hits a GTS and then another GTS to win the title. And CM Punk is your world heavy. No, he's not, because out comes Seth Rollins. And he comes out and he's walking out in the crutches. And it looks like he's just going to tease that, he's still the Money in the Bank holder. He can cash at any time. Goes to walk back, but then he drops the crutches, runs down to the ring, beats the hell out of CM Punk, and then curb stomps him. And Seth Rollins is your new world heavyweight champion. I had a reaction that I uploaded onto TikTok about this. Of course, in the predictions, I did predict that Seth would probably come out and cash in, that CM Punk would win, and Seth would cash in. And obviously, in the reaction, I was like, Seth's not coming. Seth's not here. Deep down, I knew Seth was going to be there, especially after CM Punk winning. I'm like, there's no way Seth just being Seth Rollins and WWE being WWE, that Seth isn't here. At least they even remind him. But apparently it looks like this injury may have been a work. I was thinking that maybe he was actually injured and they were just like, okay, he'll be back in time for SummerSlam. So we'll work till there. But Becky Lynch was actually backstage and she posted a video and she made a comment, were my posts misleading? So that makes me believe that this was entirely a work. And I guess kudos to them. How I don't know how I feel about a work to that extent, because it did look like a serious injury, and like next time someone gets injured like that, we're probably gonna be like, is this a work as well? Um so yeah, I don't fully know how I feel about that, but this was cool. This was a cool moment. It was a good outcome in the end of it. And yeah, Seth Rollins continues his rivalry with CM Punk, continues hating CM Punk. And this is one of those rivalries that just doesn't get old and doesn't get stale just because of how good these two are and the hatred they're able to portray in the storyline to make it good TV. So kudos to both of them for being able to go through this. So um, in terms of where this goes now, I don't fully know. Seth could hold that until WrestleMania. We could see a scenario where um, Sami Zayn wins the Rumble and challenges Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I think that would be a cool idea. I think that would be a good idea, because Sami Zayn needs to win that World Heavyweight Championship at some point. Like, he just needs to. They need to put that title on him. Yeah, like, it's about time. It's way past the time of when he should be world champion. It just needs to happen already. Um, so yeah, don't know where they go. They could run back Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania, but they have other pay-per-views in that time, obviously. So they could just end up just running it back at one of those pay-per-views instead of WrestleMania and have something bigger for Seth. Maybe Seth and Roman at WrestleMania, like they planned last year. Um, but yeah, that is night one of SummerSlam. I'm recording this the day after. I was way too tired last night to record the post show, so I was like, I'm just gonna do it in the morning, and here I am. But yeah, that was night one of SummerSlam. Let me know what you guys thought of night one of SummerSlam. In the comment section below. If you're on Spotify, let me know in those comments as well. I am obviously always doing coverage for these shows and these pay-per-views, so go ahead and check out the Kayfabe Central website for all the live coverage that I do for the weekly shows and the pay-per-views and articles that I post. Make sure if you're on YouTube, you subscribe, like, and comment, hit the notification bell so you're updated with all the videos, podcasts, and interviews that come to the channel. Subscribe to the Ko-Fi page. It's $5 minimum to subscribe to the exclusive wrestling content tier. It would really help me out a lot if you guys could do that, and just show your support in that way as well. Obviously, if you are not financially able to, then don't. But if you are and you're interested in seeing what else I do, then go ahead and check that out. I'm going to be doing movie reviews on there as well. And maybe TV show reviews as well. So if you're interested in that, I'll have a different tier for that. It'll be around probably $5 minimum as well. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of night one of SummerSlam, and let me know your predictions for night two later on tonight. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.